Welcome, we're on to the last unit, which is Unit 6, Consolidating and Enhancing Real Shanghai Mathematics Practice Book 3.1. After this unit, we'll move on to the second book, which is 3.2. And as mentioned previously, there are only 2 books in each year. This particular section, Unit 6, consists of 5 sections. The first section is called Multiplication and Division. And let's start with this then. Question 1. So combination of multiplications and divisions. Just wondering whether we should do a quick recap. Okay, let's do a quick recap of some of the material. So 304 times 9 will, or 7 times 830. Let's do 7 times 830. So we can do 830. So again, when it's 7 times 830, we'll put the bigger number at the top. 830 times by 7, and that equals 7 times 0, 0, 7 times 3, 21. So we put the 1 here, and the 2 goes here. Let's put a line here as well. And then 7 times 8 is 56, and then 56 add 2 is 58. That's 5,810. And while we're here, let's do a division. Okay, so division, should we do 1 with the remainder? Okay, fine, let's do 1 with the definite remainder. So we do 617 divided by 5, and we do the bus stop method for that. So that's 617 divided by 5. How many 5s go into 1? So with the bus stop method, we start with the largest place value and then work our way down. So 5, how many 5s go into 1? 1 5, and then the 1 left over, so that's 11 now. 5 into 11, 2, because 5 times 2 is 10, with 1 left over, that's 17, and then there's 3 here, 5 3s are 15, and then the remainder will be 2, because that's 15, and we're trying to get to 17, and there's remainder 2 left over. Okay, so that's a quick recap. It has been covered before. Again, question 2, remember we've mentioned it before. When they're in the same level, then division and times are done before addition or subtraction. So for the example, 5960, take away 960 divided by 2. You have to do 960 divided by 2 first. Work that answer, and then 5960, take away that number. Okay, if you do it the other way around and do 5960, take away 960 first, then divided by 2, it'll be wrong. So again, division before takeaway or addition. And question 3, shall we just do 3D? A shop sold 18 boxes of apples, each holding 8 kilograms, and had 128 kilograms left over. How many kilograms of apples were there in the shop at first? So we need to work out 18 times 8. So you can use the method we've just described, or do 8 times 10, which is 80. 8 times 8 is 64. So it's 80 plus 64, which is 144. And then you need to add 128 to that, and then you got your answer. And then level B, which are normally a little bit more difficult. Shall we attempt these? Okay, so the division one, try that if you want to try that. As I say, they do it in a different way, so it's a bit more trickier to do because we're not that familiar with that. I've shown you the way to do it, so you may not want to do that. Regarding 7 times a number which gives you 3 at the end, so we need to think of a 7 times table with a 3 at the end. Okay, so 3, just thinking out loud, so there's going to be 7 times 9 is 63, so I'd put a 9 there, be 63. So remember, you got to carry the 6 over, so there'll be a 6 there, and then you'll need to work out what the other number will be, given that you got 29 at the end. So to get 29 at the end, you got 6 there. It'd probably be 6 times, I would probably go 4 with the first digit, and then you can work out what the middle digits will be. And just make sure that the carryovers do work out. So sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error. But as I say, level Bs are optional. But if you really want me to go through any particular level Bs in more detail, then do let me know. But as I say, sometimes the jump is quite big. And the next page, page 82, work out how to get the number in the second row from the number in the first row. So how did it get from 3 to 15? How did it get from 8 to 40, 11 to 55? So again, if you go at your times table, you realize this is the 11, they're all times by 5. So that's what you need to do then. You need to do 84 times 5, 120 times 5, 809 times 5, etc. greater than equal to and divide smaller than. So again, work them out to do it. Although some of them you may not need to do it, like 160 divided by 2 is going to be a bigger number than 106 divided by 2, because if you start with a bigger number and you're dividing by the same number, you're going to get a bigger number than than the other one. So if that makes sense, fine. If not, if you have to work it out, that's again not an issue. Question 3, shall we do 3b? Okay, 3a, be easier to read. A car traveled 60 kilometers in 4 hours. How many kilometers a car traveled per hour? So per hour means in 1 hour. So it's 360 divided by 4. Problem solving is the next title of this consolidating and enhancing. And it's, let's find it here. Problem solving. There it is. So you look at each of the line segment and complete the calculation. So we've got 1a, so you can see 96 in 4 equal parts is 96 divided by 4. And then you've got b, so b, if you can see b, how many pens? 20. Okay, so 20 left over. So those little sizes are the 36 sizes. So it's 36 times by 5 and then plus 20. And then C would be 15 times by 4. And then after you times by 4, take away 11. And so on and so forth. So on and so forth. How many rabbits altogether? So remember, for D, you have to do 4 parts, because you have to include the white rabbit and the black rabbits for the total. And question 2. Shall we do 2b? One chair costs £12 and the price of the table is 5 times that of the chair. So that's going to be 12 times 5 and then plus 12, or you could do 12 times 6, and that will be your answer. And then B, how many fish did they catch? I caught 8 fish. I caught 2 times as many as fish as Emma. I caught 3 more than 2 times as Alex. So we need to know who's who here first. So I caught okay, Emma. I caught 3 more than I got I got 3 more than 2 times as many as Alex. As I say, I'm not sure who is who here. None of them look like Emma to me. Maybe the first one. I'll assume the first one is Emma. So that's 8 fish. So the next fish is 2 times as many. That'd be 8 times 2 is 16. And I'm assuming that's probably going to be then the middle person is probably going to have to be Alex. I caught 3 more than 2 times many Alex. Whatever Alex worked out, times that by 2, then add 3, and that will tell you how much did Dylan get. Okay, fine. And then moving on to page 85, 52 times 9 times by 4. Show all your steps in working out. So again, one at a time. You could do 52 times 4, then times it by 9, or you could do 52 times 9, then times by 4. 488 times 6 divided by 8. So when you have times and divide on the same level, similar to take away and add, then you just go do it in order. They are both at the same level in terms of bit mass. So 488 times by 6, work that out, and then do bust up method to then divide by 8, and so on and so forth. 336 divided by 8, work that out, and then divided by 3. And question 2a, how much does each pen cost? For 2a, so we just do 2a. There are 8 pens in each box, and the total cost is 160. So 160 divided by 8. 8 pens in each box, and a total cost is 160. So there'll be 160 divided by each box. Okay, so divided by 4 first, and then after that you can divide that by 8. Yes, the 8 in each one. Okay, fine. And then moving on to the next page, which is page 86, question 3, or shall we go? How many pots of flowers did the school buy to decorate the classrooms? Okay, try that yourselves. Question 4, cashmere jumpers cost 140 each. So we try it. It costs the same to buy 7 cashmere jumpers as it does to buy 5 coats. How much does 1 coat cost? So that means 5 times, jumpers. Okay, so 7 costs the same. So 7 times 140 will be the same as 5 times. So let's just do this one. So 7. Okay, so 7 times 140, and you can work that what that out is first. So these are about the number centers. The writing number centers is 140. You work out what that is, and then you divide that by 5. Okay. divide that by 5. As I say, just go in order. Don't need to confuse yourself. Just go in order. 7 times 140 first, and then divide it by 5. And that will give you your answer for that. And then question 6. In supermarket, there are 20 boxes of bananas. There are twice as many boxes of oranges as boxes of bananas. So twice as many, that's going to be 40 boxes. And there are 3 times as many boxes as apples as boxes of orange. So 3 times whatever you 40. How many boxes altogether apples are there? So we've just done that there. And then level B, intelligent practice, is trying to look at particular ways of doing the questions, which may make it a bit quicker. So 125 times 9 times 8. So which way is the best way to do that? Different ways of doing that, I guess. So you could do 125 times 9 times 8. So we can do which way around? Okay, which way around? Intelligent way. Okay, 9 times 8 is 72. So we could do that way. I mean, just do one step at a time. That should be fine. And the 25 times 59, 4 lots of those. So that's the same as 25 times 59 times 4. And then we can do 25 times 4, which is 100, and then times that by 59. So that's one of the ways to do that. And the other one, sorry, 125 times 8. That is a probably easier way of doing it, because that would be, I believe, 900, 800, 900, and then times that by 9, which is 900 times by 10, and then take away by 9. Okay, and then question 2, some pupils are going on an autumn school trip. The total number of teachers and pupils is 180. A coach has 40 seats. A minibus has 20 seats. That costs 480 to hire. This is how much they should hire, so that the total cost is as low as possible, and the cost will be. So I'll leave that for you guys to do, but just to get your head around some part of it. A coach has 40 seats, 180. A minibus has 20 seats. So the coach is cheaper, so try and get as much coaches as you can, and then with the rest fit them into your minibuses. And it's 180, so 4 coaches will give you 160, and then the other one can be a minibus. That would probably be the best way. And then moving on to the next section, which is called building shapes. What's the names of these shapes? So you should be familiar with so far. We've got triangle, square, circle, and then these are called polygons, I believe. But the important thing is how many sides they have. And so this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, so that'll be a pentagon, and the bottom here has 6 sides, so that'll be called a hexagon. And then number 2, again, we have covered this before, so you can do that yourself. Again, equilateral triangle have all 3 equal sides, and isosceles triangle have 2 sides that are the same angle. Okay, and the exception, I guess, is well, perhaps you can get a right. You can have a right angle and isosceles triangle the same if it's 45, 45. Okay, so you could say, but anyway, those are the right angles. So you got your right angles, which are with corner of the right angle like 1, and you got isosceles triangle, which would be one example of that. It's probably 3, and the equilateral triangle looks like number 6, but there's others as well, obtuse, which we've done before, so you can do it there. 3, count the shapes and fill in the missing numbers. So they're just about counting. And then level B, which I say is normally a little bit harder. So draw a straight line to cut an angle from the hexagon. How many angles does the new shape have? Trace the picture and cut out try as many ways as possible. Okay, so again, so it should be straightforward. Draw a straight line, cut an angle from the cut an angle. Okay, so we can try and cut one angle, and then say what shape it is, and you can use different lines and how many angles are left. Design floor tile of your own and draw it on the square. So you got a question to do there. Carefully, how many bricks are needed to fill in the hole in the wall? So it's a case of trying to draw them in the same size and then work out the total numbers. And question part 4 is called how large are they? And here is about areas, and each square is representing a centimeter square according to the level A question 1. So it covers this many squares, and we're going to call the number of squares, and then number of centimeters squared will be identical. Okay, so the second shape, for example, will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares, and that'll be 5 centimeters squared, because each square represents 1 centimeter squared according to the question. Each small square in the diagram represents 1 centimeter square. So again, similar thing, but just remember there's halves. So two of those half, or two of those triangles make one square. And then we've got B. What is the area of each of the shape below? Um, Again, try and draw these squares in a little bit more trickier, and you might need to just draw in the lines and then look at the shapes and see where they can move to be able to make a complete square. So as I say, it might not be halves, but you should be able to see moving this part to that part actually makes a whole shape, and you get your square from that. And then we've got mathematical magic, which guys can read if you want to do that. And moving on to the fifth part, the say level B are optional. Sometimes they're encouraged, sometimes I don't encourage them. Most of the time they're optional. If you want to try them, they're fine. So question 1, calculate area of each shape. So we've discussed this before. So we just times the length and the width together. So for the square, it'll be 4 times 4, which is 16. Just remember that you write the units correctly. So 16 centimeters squared, and squared is a little 2 at the top. That's how you do that. And then we've got question 2. Read question here is the plan. All the lengths are in meters, and calculate the area. Okay, so for example, which one shall we do? Fine, which one shall we do? Let's do the easiest one first. Balcony. So there's 5 times 2, that's 10. And they're all in meters, so it's 10 meters squared. And some of them you'll have to just work it out by looking at the shapes. For example, you can see that the width going. Which one is a bit more difficult? So they're fairly straightforward because they've shown you the width at the top. So Laura's room is 4 times 5, living room is 4 times 5. The kitchen is 2 times 5, 2 times 5 for the bathroom as well, and 5 times 5 is for the parents' bedroom. And level B, calculate the area of this shape. So split that shape into 3 shapes, so three rectangles, and then do it according to that. But make sure you get your length and width length and width right. Remember, there's a 5. Okay, let's just show you quickly with this one. So there's a shape here. Okay, we'll draw it like this. So you got a shape like this. Okay, you'll have to just assume this is straight. I know it doesn't look straight. You can split it either way. So you can split it like this or split it like that. Let me split it in this way. So we've got 3 shapes now. And then you work out these individually. Okay, and remember this is 3, and that's 8. Okay, I think the easiest way to do this one is, rather than splitting it up, work out the whole shape. That's going to be 5. It's going to be 5 times by 8. So if it's 5 times 8, which is 40, that's the whole shape. And then we just have to get rid of this part from there, which is 3 times 2, so 40. Take away 6. Okay, and remember, again, it'll be centimeters squared. And then the other question is B. You can try that yourself. Let's see. Shape is made up of 4 identical smaller rectangles. The shorter side of this rectangle is 2. So the shorter side of this rectangle is 2. Then the length, the longer side of these smaller rectangles will have to be 6. Yeah, because it consists of 3 of the shorter parts. And with that, we end this lesson. And I hope you enjoyed it and beneficial. And if you can please place a like and subscribe, and your comments will be much appreciated.